Welcome to the Real Double Dose Channel broadcast station, focused on the real reels of real life, love, growth, and of course, elevation within all levels. RDDC is exactly the place where anyone can discover more depth, love, light, and clarity within themselves, and elevate from other people's walks of life, conversations, and questions, along with deeper insights. So tune in and be a part of the Double Doses with Lexus T and RDDC.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Real Double Dose channel. This is your host, Lex, coming at you straight from the heart where the talk is real and the vibe is always live. I want to thank you for tuning on here with us as always, because here, serving a slice of everyday life is what RDDC is all about. For any show requests, feedback, or anything under the sun, get a hold of us at Real Double Dose channel at yandex.com, Real Double Dose channel at yandex.com, yandex.com. For now, until we release the new ones, or the new email that's rolling out for our inquiries as far as anything you want to get into as far as episodes and so much more. Yeah, was going into a loop right there. I really want to get into this conversation, but thank you for tuning in for Spreaker, TuneIn, Stitcher Radio, iHeartRadio, iTunes, Pandora, Spotify, SoundCloud, of course, home base, as well as Giovanni, Google Cast, Podcast Addict, all of them that go on the list. You can check more of those links out or wherever you are listening to. And thank you for becoming and still continuing to be an avid listener and downloader of our Heck versus Hell episodes on Friday, and as well as RDC's movement and tuning into the Truth Seekers Mastermind Alliance conversation that we have specifically for revealing different truths, whether it be sci-fi understandings or different things that have to do with the Nephilim or an Anunnaki from the biblical principles and beyond. Getting there, growing. YouTube is sure to roll out, and that'll be for the messages. But I want to get into this conversation. This is Lexus T, as always, for you new coming in and everyone else that's been here. Thank you. Now, you might say to yourself right now, well, what's got you on so edge, you know? Like, what's got there? Now, I still, even though I get up at 6 a.m., my voice might sound like it's not. But with the shower, brushing your teeth, washing your face, all that, sometimes just the calmness of no voice can happen. But I want to give you this in a couple minutes snippet because it's supposed to be the double dose pill that I'm giving you right now. And I want to put this thing on your thoughts, to be on your mind, because it needs to be there. I have an alarm set, so if you hear it go off, that means I'm supposed to be within that time frame. I'm about 3 minutes behind because I wanted to see what I could do with this and get productively done with giving the conversation of the dose to you for the doubles. Pero también, okay, but two, I wanted to let you know, this is a question for yourself. What's wrong with me? Hashtag, what's wrong with me? And I want you to look at that deeper than just the adequacies of, oh, well, I need to lose 50 pounds or 20 pounds, whatever. I need to get my hair cut. I need to have a different kind of tanning lotion or a skin lightener. I need to have better clothing or a better car. No, I mean, what is wrong with you? What's going on with you? I want to say, what is wrong with you? What's inside of you? Now, I have to put what's wrong with you, right? Because hashtag, it gets your attention to understand, what do you mean what's wrong with me? I hope that it does provoke some questioning. But what is wrong with us? We have to look at the people and the situations, and not to mention the adversary, the devil, the demons that work here, and then our own free wills, of course, because nothing can be forced upon us, but we can be utilized by them, opening up the gateway of that. But I will say for this one, I want all of us to take a look, and I'm doing this morning. I'm doing some laundry. I have a whole variation of different things we've invested in that I have to get into, and Mr. Heck versus Hell, Hector, is keeping me aligned. Sweetheart, he is spicy Sagittarius, but sweetheart, with those things. Angela, I haven't forgot about you either, but she's kind of getting on her own branches of getting certain systems done that we're doing with other wonderful pathways. But the thing is, in our couple minutes that we have here, I want to ask, what do you think is wrong with you? I don't want you to feel as though, if you heard that pre-alarm, that was just for me to take my vitamin. I'm not really big on those, I like more herbal and medicinal, but some things you just have to see what you're utilizing out here. Pero I wanted to say, and when I say pero, that's a Spanish terminology for like but or like, you know, and so on. So it's just something I do a lot more. I speak a lot more Spanish in different ways. I used to speak Spanish all the time in my roots of being the Latina spiciness and the native roots that I have. I did that more so, and I kind of went to English after everything kind of disappeared with all my friends who did speak with me, traveling and so forth. So I just want you to know if that comes in the lingo. I've used it before in the past, but I just want to let you know what that means. Pero, right? That's something you learned. Duolingo didn't get that. Okay, I'm just saying. No shade, no endorsement. But they are, yeah, the owl's cool. So I just want to say that in this several minutes or maybe less that we have, I don't know, I'm looking at the alarm back and forth. If you hear it, you know already it's about to read the cap. But I want to say, like, not to point out anybody in your life to say, well, that's what's wrong with me, Lex. I found him and I'm going to go confront him after work. Have a decent conversation. You want to sit down with them and talk, and don't catch them off guard, and be careful who you approach. You never know these days. But I want to say that, like, look at that. And I look at from the illnesses. And I'm just going to put it like this, because right now I'm going to put more so in the book that I've been talking about for a while. But it has to be layered out like this and moved by God, not just by my own, quote, woman or man and woman, because, we come from the rib of Adam. But it comes from that perspective. You have to move when it's told to be, and not because you're rushed because of emotion. But I want to say, what is wrong with you? What's wrong with you? Is it the people that we have in our lives? Is it the parents that we have in our life? Is it the siblings we have in our life? And it's not to say that they're all to blame, but they can take their part of the blame, but it's not for us to stay the same. It's not for us to stay stagnant. And because we think that they're the closest people who we think know us, which they don't. Even look at Christ. Even the siblings he grew up with, they even mentioned in the Bible how they were like, oh, like, basically, why don't you go out there and preach and all this, like, kind of like, oh, okay, he's in his own world. People will always try to make you feel like they know you enough, but they don't even know themselves enough. They don't even know what they like half the time. Indecisive as heck versus hell. I had to say that, you know what I mean? But I was just saying, and, well, no, I'm saying heck versus hell based on, they don't even know what the hell, right? Hell, we'll just say like that, Hades. Sorry, heck, I didn't mean that. You can wipe that out if you want. But I'm just saying, when we get upset, we say, what the heck versus hell is going on? But either way, you understand what I'm saying. If you can pick up what I'm putting down, right? It's the point where we can't let them continue to be the trigger mode. We can't let them be the illness that is wrong with us. This is from personal experience, obviously. Everything that I give you, at least 90% of what I give you is from personal experience. 10% is what I've experienced with other people. Even more so. And that's a deep delving when I share certain sentiments with you. But I'm taking this from my book and at my page and looking at it like, parenthood and our parents, what they left with us, the scars that might be left. And some of us say, oh, we had a great childhood. Oh, yeah, but there's still stuff from the ancestors that still come in the bloodline, whether you have seen it or not. Whether there's dysfunction or not. Everyone is dysfunctional as long as you're not leading a life that is completely into Christ and God. Now, I know that. And at the end of the day, people could say, well, it's not about religion. You're absolutely right. It's not about sitting there putting yourself into a group or organization. It's about your personal relationship with the divine and understanding of God and all that is. Not the universe. God created the universe. We're saying God of all things. The connection with you, the power that fuels you to keep breathing and actually even have a thought form to even say something back. That's what I'm talking about. Humility. Humble yourself real quick. So that's what I'm saying. And maybe this conversation was led by it. Whatever else. I noticed that the sickness of my bloodline, it pours over into me every day. It goes through that. If it's spiritual sickness, life sickness, whatever it is, the tensities, the way that you start seeing things correlate, the death of my sister, the death of my brother, different things, my dad, all these things, 10 funerals within several years. It's like, I know a lot of people go through a lot worse. Some people have lost their entire wife and children in one go from a car accident, unfortunately. But at the same time, I want us to ask #what's wrong with you? Because we need to ask those questions. Why is this, right? For example, put it this way before we end this off with this cap. Why? Like if you have a tick or you have something that bothers you, why is it that it bothers me about this all the time? Why is it that I sit there and stand people up and don't show up? Why is it that I don't show up to the plate? Now, take personal accountability. But why is it? And look at the correlations of what you see. Don't cap it over. Don't smooth it over. See what it is. Because for a long time, I tried to soothe it over. And smooth it, even though my sister tried to open my eyes, even though different people would see, and I would see the truth, I just be like, nah, it's cool, it's not even worth my energy, it ain't gonna change. And when change is brought to you in the face, for you to actually even be a vessel of that change to happen, no matter how much you do and how much you love a person, it doesn't matter. They're always going to be stuck within the confines of what their flesh has allowed them to be, in the chains of what they decide to let Diablo and himself do to them, or whatever they're going to do. You cannot base what you're going through based on solely yourself. You have to also look at what's wrong with me, what has been put there. And if you can't dig it up enough to face it in the mirror, face it to yourself, then that's going to be a challenge that you have moving on to yourself and your kids. Siempre. Siempre y siempre. Forever and always, right? You're always going to have those problems coming up, and it's going to be bloodline. So if you don't address it now, someone else is going to deal with the problems that you're not addressing. Confront it in a very mild manner way, understanding way, cognitively break it down and sift through it and get through it. Not just to jump on and pound. It's a disclaimer. Don't be doing anything crazy. I never told you that common sense practices. If you need that, reach out to us and I'll give you some of that. But don't sit there and say, well, you told me to say what I had to say and they pissed me off and I got a frying pan. Boom. No. I'm saying have it cordial, calm. And if you can't reach those people, get a guide. Get a guidebook. Get a journal. I know. Sounds good. Even get an audio. Right? Just record one of the apps, or get an audio app and say, this is why I felt. Why do I feel this way? Why do I, prefer my lemon on the side of this cup? It could be down to the littlest minute things. Don't drive yourself crazy to the biggest thing that you can find. So I want to ask right now, this might be a part 1 to a part 2. We don't know. But I wanted to say right out the dome, right out the mentality, what's wrong with you? What's the matter with you? Put it that way. Yeah, we'll say, what's the matter with you, or what's wrong, But figure out that, because it's not all on your shoulder. You need to see what it is. No matter how much you love people or not, I don't want you taking that about yourself to say, well, I don't want to have a problem. I just want to live in a Cherry Hill mentality and just it is what it is. Yeah, that's fine. You can even keep it to yourself to a certain perspective, but allow it to breathe and bleed out, right? And the conversational wise, in yourself or to yourself, drinking a cup of coffee or tea or some water, whatever you choose. Allow it to be there. Some orange juice. Just look at it and say, man, that's why I felt that way. If you felt that way, don't worry about being a complainer. Oh, there's our time right now. Perfect. Don't worry about being a complainer. Don't worry about being that. Just know that you have something to say. And if it's, this and this, and I didn't have this, and I wanted the red car instead of the blue, and I wanted the nice watch instead of this, you can still have your own feelings of why you feel that way. But that's not what I'm saying. It's about what has given you the habits that you have, what has given you the mentality that you have, what has given you the attitudes that you have to a certain point. What has it? Has it been bad relationship after bad relationship? Has it been disconnection with yourself? Has it been self-esteem issues, being called names throughout your life? Has it been your parents neglecting you and acting like you didn't exist? Has it been you always being there for people your entire journey and no one there for you? Has it been foster care after foster care and people abusing you or making you feel like you're just not worthy? Because I damn well will guarantee you are. You are worth it. You are worthy. And any person that keeps trying to hold you down is something inside of them that feels worthless. And that's what they need to work on. Any person that shuts you down, doesn't want to hear the truth, is worthless. Because that's what they feel. Not because they are, but because of how they feel. It's no worthiness in them to even give you that factor. But you have to remember, and I remember even just shortly when I had shared something with Hector, and he had texted me, hey, remember to keep your peace, keep your calm, keep your quiet. And I asked him to remind me of that. Sometimes you have to just be quiet. And like the Bible says, or should I say, like God says, be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am God. Perfect love will cast out all fear. That's what you need to hold on to. That's what it is. Maybe there's nothing the matter with you or wrong with you. Maybe it's always been those around you who have been wrong to you, for you, and with you. That's not to negate the fact that we have our own personal responsibilities, but it's also to give responsibility to where it's due. Don't you forget that. And that's being true, authentic, and getting through that to help the next offspring, even if you have biological children or not, nieces and nephews, whoever it might be, to help the next ones understand that when they're having problems. When I hear people talk about they want to take their life and do this and do that, because a lot of those problems stem from other people. And when we don't look for those issues and try to sift them out and get inside of us, then we're stuck with them. And then we get the sickness deeper in us, and the poison ravages our veins down to our organs, down to the core of who we are. And that's the problem. So maybe it isn't. And a lot of times it isn't what's the matter with us. It's what's the matter with them. But instead of trying to figure them out, we need to figure ourselves out and what triggered us off from them so we can realize it was all them. And maybe down the line, they can open their eyes to get the truth in themselves to clear it out too. Personal responsibility is definitely acceptable, but also accountability for those who have made that our responsibility now for their non-responsibility is definitely more acceptable too. So this is your girl Lexus T. I love you. We're about 3 minutes over, but it was worth it. You're amazing, and that's what the Double Doses is right now. Remember to tune in and check out with us anytime you can. Check out the links on our realdoubledosechannel.blogspot.com. That's blogspot.com. We are updating that as time goes on, and we have the Lex Effect Coaching and Flip the Switch FDS Squad as always. Flip the switch. And we're having S&M Elevation. We see you hitting those up, and we love it, and we're moving. And you'll be able to check us out more so on our interviews and so much more rolling out on our YouTubes and conversational. But we did start with the broadcast first before any video happened, and our loyalty is with all those who have been showing us love and throughout, and we're amazing. We're amazingly happy is what I meant to say, but we can't wait to expand and even reach more and get you all a part of the conversation, and even maybe have you there as a TikTok conversation that you can invite people on now to kind of speak face to face and sift through some things with you and get those things together. I would love to be there to give you any of the Lex Effect that I can, the double doses, all of us over here, the RDDC and FDS team. We love you. You're amazing. Remember to be the change, feel the passion, and embrace the power of the spirit that's calling to you, within you, and always for you. And we'll be back with you very, very soon.